So, so far we have worked with servlets. Now I'm going to show you people JSP, and after that I'll give you people some applications to work with. I want you people to practice. Okay? Yeah. So it's low. Uh, just a minute. Let me check one. Hello. Mic is very close, so very close actually. Um, just a minute. Okay, just a minute. Let me see. Now, any better? Hello. So is it better now? Okay. So is it same for everyone? Okay, fine.
Oh, what's the problem? I'm sorry, my mistake.
Yeah, now is it good? Okay, so actually my mistake. So I've plugged in a wrong port. Okay, fine. So um, today I'm going to talk about JSpace, and then I will ask you people to do a work with some applications using JSpace. Sorry. Okay. Yes. So now let's check the servlets once. For example, so if you take this servlet, the servlet name is all product servlet. So basically what it does, so when it is invoked, it will fetch all the product records from the database server with the help of the DO. And you see it creates a web page dynamically. You see we got that HTML code, creates a web page dynamically, and will display that records in the table format, right? Now especially this code. What is this code? You'll find that just you'll find that this is actually is all presentation logic, I can say. What is it? The code to create a web page and all. Basically, there's all presentation logic. Sorry, presentation logic means what is it? Presentation logic means which the code which deals with presenting the response back to the client. Okay, the code which deals with presenting the response back to the client. That is what presentation logic means. Okay. Yes. So using a servlet, or in the servlet, you see we have written this presentation logic. Okay, we have written that presentation logic. So do you see any issue with this presentation logic which you got here? Do you see any issues with the presentation logic which you got here? Yes. So I can say there is one drawback or issue here, the presentation logic which we have written. There is one issue here. What is it? Can you people tell me? Okay, so I got some response. Let me see. So I feel like formatting could be improved of where the data is presented. So you mean presenting the data? Okay. Mm, no, actually, yeah. So because we are not web designers, we don't bother much about presentation now here. Okay, but the thing is, yeah, of course we can improvise it. We can add styles, colors, and all. So, but more than that, I can say that we got some limitations, or there's some things which we need to consider here. What is it? You will find that the HTML code, you see, the way we are writing the HTML code, have you noticed it? Always we have to wrap it in out.println statements, right? All that all that HTML code, okay, all the HTML code which you got here, you see, we are wrapping it in out.println statements. Yes. So we are not writing HTML in the free form. You see, as of now, we are constructing very simple page, so it won't be a big deal. Sorry, but if this, if we have to create a complicated page with lot of presentation stuff and lot of things, lot of HTML code, if it is a complicated web page, you'll have lot of HTML code in it. So in that case, writing all that HTML code, wrapping them in out.println statements would be little difficult. Yeah. So you got this point, all of you. Can I have yes or no? So you understood this issue? Okay, so sorry. So this is the most important drawback here or issue which you got here. So what to do now? How can we fix this issue? So here, I can say that using servlets would be a little complicated to deal with presentation logic. Okay, servlets have got this drawback. Yes, servlets have got this drawback. So always we have to write that code in the out.println statements, that HTML code. Yes, I'm sorry. So, you know, that is where your JS piece will come into the picture. That is where we're going to use JS piece. Okay, yes. A JSP is also a server-side component like servlet. It executes on the server side itself, and it is specially used to deal with presentation logic. Okay, yes, just a second, please. Just a minute. JSP. JSP stands for Java Server Pages. Okay, so Java Server Pages. JSP, like servlet, it also executes on the server side. Is a server side component. Server side component means which resides on the server, which executes on the server, I can say. Okay, yes. Sorry. Mainly responsible for handling presentation logic. Yes. So now let me demonstrate how the JSP is going to address this issue. Okay, handling presentation, how it becomes very easy using JSP. Let's see. Okay, so as of now here, you see, we are trying to present the data in the servlet using this code. So you got this presentation logic. So I will comment this code. That means now this time servlet will not deal with presentation. Okay, servlet is not going to deal with presentation here. Yes. Instead, I want the JSP to handle this presentation logic. Instead, I want the JSP to handle the presentation here. So let's create a JSP which is going to deal with this presentation logic. Okay. Yeah. So I'll create a JSP page. You see, where you'll add a JSP in the web content folder itself. We'll add the JSP in the web content folder. So I'll right click on this folder. You got new JSP file option. You see, we can use this wizard to create a JSP. Okay. Yeah. So I'll select this JSP file option. So the name of the JSP, let's say it is products view. You can give any name you wish. Okay. Here we are naming it as products view. Okay. Now I'll click on finish. The extension should be .jsp. Okay. Name of the JSP can be anything, but make sure that the extension is .jsp. Okay. So open this JSP page with JSP editor. Open it with JSP editor. Now you got this JSP page. So now what do we want to do with this JSP? Yes. What exactly the JSP is supposed to do here? So we want the JSP to handle this presentation logic. That means displaying that product details. The JSP is supposed to deal with displaying that product records here. That is what it is supposed to do now. Okay. Yes. So, but for that here, JSP needs that products list, right? JSP needs products list. So that products list is actually is with that servlet. Servlet is fetching that product records, right? And where are the product records in this list now? You know, Now this servlet has to share that list of products with the JSP. Okay, the servlet here, it has to share that products list with the JSP so that JSP can display the product records. Okay, yes. Now, how the servlet can share that products list with the JSP? I can say that already you're familiar with it. You know, we have discussed about this concept. How a servlet can share the data with another servlet, right? How a servlet can share the data with another servlet? Yes, how a servlet can share the data with another servlet. Yes, we saw that, right? A servlet, how it can share the data with another servlet. Sorry. You got something called as scope objects. If you people remember, so we have discussed about scope objects, right? Scope objects. A servlet, it can share the data with another servlet through the scope objects. As I told you people, we got three different types of scope objects. What are they? Yes, what are the scope objects? Number one is servlet request object. Number two is servlet context object. And HTTP session. We got three different types of scope objects. Come on, yaar. You people just behaving as if we never discussed about this topic. So, and actually, we have discussed about the comparisons also. We have compared servlet request and the context objects, right? A servlet, it can share the data with another servlet through the scope objects, as we have discussed. And I was also showing you people an image for that. So, if you people remember how one servlet can, yes, if you can recollect. So, we did this. I've used this image to make you people understand how a servlet can share the data with another servlet through the scope objects. So let's say you got servlet A. If it wants to share the data with servlet B, so first of all, servlet A can add the data to that one of the scope object using set attribute method. And then the other servlet which is interested in this data, the other servlet, which is interested in this data. So it can read the data from that scope object using get attribute method, right? So hope you people remember. Yes, fine. So now the servlets can use the same scope objects here to share the data as well. Okay, to share the data with JSPs. A servlet can use the same scope objects to share the data with the JSPs as well. Okay, yeah, let's see. Just a minute. Just a minute. Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, so now you see the servlets can share the data with the JSP using the same scope objects the same way. Okay, we can use the same concept here. So let's use it. Now this servlet to share the data with the JSP, now it can add the data to the request scope. So we have set attribute method. Now the first parameter is the object name. So whatever the name you want to give, let's say products. And the second parameter is the object reference. So basically the servlet is trying to share the products list, that list object with the JSP. Now what it did for that, first of all it has added that list to the request scope. It has added the list to the request scope here. Yes. Okay. Yes. So now that list is in the request scope. Now the JSP should be should render the product records or display that product records back to the client, right? So how the JSP is going to do that? So first of all, the servlet is supposed to call the JSP. Then only JSP comes into the picture, right? So I'm sorry. Here we have to call the JSP page. How can we call the JSP? What do you people think? How can we call the JSP? Again, I can say that you people are familiar with this. You know, the way a servlet can call another servlet, similarly, a JSP can call another JSP. Okay, so How a servlet can call another servlet? Yes. How a servlet can call another servlet? Come on, you people are familiar with it. You know how a servlet can call another servlet. Yes. Yes. How a servlet can call another servlet, sorry, using request dispatcher. Yes. A servlet can call another servlet through request dispatcher. That's right. Okay. We can use the request dispatcher. The servlet can call a JSP now using request dispatcher. Okay. So first of all, the servlet is supposed to obtain the request dispatcher object. Yes. Call this get request dispatcher method and pass it JSP name. What is that JSP name? Products view dot JSP. Okay. Yes. So now just we have obtained the request dispatcher object. Obtaining the request dispatcher object is not enough, right? So what is the next thing we need to do here? After obtaining the request dispatcher object, how can we call the other JSP using not get attribute? So first of all here we have to call the other servlet, sorry, the JSP. We got that object, okay, of course. We got that request dispatcher object. So after obtaining the request dispatcher object, now we have to call the forward method, right? Request dispatcher dot forward. Okay, yes. Request dispatcher dot forward. That's it. This way we can call the other JSP. This is very much similar. Okay, fine. So now the JSP will be invoked here. Okay, so we are forwarding the request to the JSP, right? Now the JSP will be invoked. Here in the JSP, we are supposed to display the product details. Now first of all, the JSP, in order to fetch that products list, it should get that for products list. JSP, first of all, it is supposed to fetch that products list. How the JSP can obtain that products list here? Yes. Where is the list in the request scope, right? Sorry, guys. So that list actually is in the request scope. Yes. So here, now we have to read that list from the request scope and display the product records. Okay. Yes. So let's see. First of all, I'll write this code and then I'll explain it. So just give me 1 minute, please. Don't worry about what I'm doing. So I'll explain it later. Yes. Now in the JSP, if you're supposed to display that product records, you can say that it will be very simple and straightforward. It will be very simple and straightforward. So what you can do is here we can first create that table, add the headers and all. Let me do that. I'll use this code, HTML code, which we have written earlier. Okay. Yes. Next, we got table creation code, right? I'll also use this code. Let's do this. And here, uh, we have this. Okay. You see, we have that code, table creation code. Now, what we need to do is we need to get that list. Where is the list? Yes. Where is the list? The servlet is passing that list to the JSP, right? So how it is passing that list to the JSP? Where is that list? It is in the request scope. Yes, it is in that request scope object. Very good. That's right. Okay. So, I'm sorry. So here, let's read that list from the request scope. Let's read the list from the request scope. Okay. So for that, I'm going to use special tags which you got here in the JSP. I'm importing a tag library. We have special tag library here called as JSTL tag library. It's a core tag library. So it helps us to read that elements from the list. Now how can we read that list here? Generally if it is servlets, we use get attribute method, right? Request.get attribute method. But here let's see how to read that list. Okay. Sorry. So we use this expression language for that purpose. Dollar of specify that object name. So what is that object name? Products. Okay. So dollar of in the angular brackets, you see we got this products. What is that products? It's the object name. It's the object name. Okay. So now, so we are passing this list to that for each loop. So what I'm doing, I'm reading that products list from the request scope. We don't need to specify that scope details. Okay, we don't need to specify that scope details. So when you do this dollar of its a special language, automatically it will search in all the scopes and it gets that object. Okay, yes. Now here now you'll get that products list. This for each tag, it's a tag, JSTL tag I can say. This tag, you see, it is similar to your HTML tag, but it's not a HTML tag. It's actually a JSTL tag, which we can only use in JSP. It's not in HTML. And this for each tag has got the functionality, which is exactly same as for each loop which you got in Java. In Java, we got for each loop, right? So you'll find that this tag also is similar to for each loop. So when you pass that list to the objects list to that for each loop, it automatically reads the elements from that list. Okay, for each iteration it reads that one element. Okay, it reads one element. Yes, and it will store that element in a temporary variable. So we have to declare a temporary variable here. So let's say I'll call it as product. The variable name can be anything. So we'll declare it using temporary variable product here. Okay, yes. Now here This for each tag, for each iteration, it reads one element from that list and it will store it into this temporary variable product. Now what we can do is here, we can read the data uh, from that product object whose reference is stored in this temporary variable product. You see, for each product object which is fetched from that list, we will create a row. We will create a row here and we'll add the data to that row. We'll add the data to that row. That is what we'll try to do here. Okay. Yes. See, I'm creating a row and I'm adding cells here, columns, columns or cells. So how will you read the data from that object? Again, we'll use expression language here. Product is the reference variable name, right? And in that object, we got the property ID. In that object, we got the property with the name ID, right? Which holds that product ID. Simply, we can specify the details this way. I'm sorry. So similarly, we'll read the other property values from that object. Product dot name, product dot price, and description. Yes. Okay. Yes. So whatever the code which we have written here between this for each tags, you see, we got the start for each tag here in line number 21, and in line 30 we got that end for each tag. Yes. So whatever the code which we have written here will execute repeatedly or more than once, multiple times. Now, how many times that uh, code is going to execute, how many times it will execute, it depends on the number of elements in that list. Okay. So for each element in that list, you see, a row will be created, and the data from that element or that object will be read. So using the expression language for that, and then we'll display the data in that row. We'll display the data in that row. So that is how it works. Okay. So that's all we need to do. You see, it is so simple and straightforward. But remember one thing, make sure that the product class which we're using here, the product class which we're using here, it is a Java Bean class. Okay, make sure that it is actually a Java Bean class. Okay, yes. Okay, Java bean class means, you know, the Java bean specifications, right? Yes. Make sure that you follow the Java bean specifications. That's it. Okay. So hope you people got it. Fine. Now let's test this code. Um, I'll deploy this application on the server. Now let's call that servlet. Okay. All products. When that servlet is invoked, you know what it does. So it will take that, it will fetch that record, and it will fetch that records. And then what it does here, it fetch all the records, and then it will pass them to the JSP page. And JSP in turn will fetch the records from the, will read that objects from the request scope. Okay. Yes. And it will display them. Yeah. Okay. Yes. So let me just present that. You see, you got all the records. So this time, so who's fetching this records? Servlet does that, and you will find that servlet will pass that records to the JSP page, and JSP will be fetching, will be displaying that records. Yes. Yeah. So is it clear for you people? So what is the role played by the JSP? Yes. Hope you understood this, right? So any questions? I'm sorry. Okay. Good. So now the JSP page. It looks very much similar to the HTML page, right? JSP page. It looks very much similar to the HTML page. Now, what is the difference between the JSP and the HTML page? Yes. Okay. It's dynamic. Okay. Uh-huh. Change the content in the JSP. Now, can't we do the same thing in JSPs as well? Sorry, HTML pages as well. Can't we do the same thing in the HTML page as well? Yes. Why? You know, at first place, you'll find that in the I'm sorry, in the JSP, sorry, in the HTML page, you cannot use this tags. Okay, the tag which we have used for each tag which we have used, we cannot use it in the HTML page. This tags, JSTL tags, we call them as JSTL tags. They are very much specific to the JSPs. Okay, and one more thing, you see, we are using this expression language, dollar of angular brackets, right? So that is actually expression language. You will find that you cannot use expression language in HTML. Okay, again, it is not possible to use HTML in expression language. Yes. Okay, and we cannot access the Java objects using expression language. You see, you'll find that we'll be able to access the Java objects using expression language. You'll find that we'll be able to access Java objects here in the JSP page, but you cannot use this expression language in the HTML page, and you cannot read or access Java objects in HTML page. It is not possible to access Java objects in HTML page. That is another problem. Okay. Yes. So that is the difference. Finally, I can say that JSPs are dynamic compared to HTML page. In JSPs, we can access Java objects. We can read the data from the Java objects, and you see we can present the data in JSPs. We can present the data using JSPs. Okay, so you see this statement we're using to import a tag library. In JSPs, you'll find that you got tag libraries which are available. What is a tag library? Yes. Sorry. What do you people think? What is a tag library? They are nothing but it's set of tags. Okay. Tag library means they're set of tags, predefined tags. That's right. Okay. This tags you'll find that they're similar to HTML tags. They're similar to HTML tags here. I'm sorry. But you see these tags you can only use them in JSPs. So we call them as you got JSTL tags, and future you will find that we are going to work with the tags from the other frameworks also. Almost all the frameworks will provide such will provide these tags. Okay, I'm sorry. Now let's try to explore this JSPs further. But before that, so what we did here so far. So is it clear for you people? Okay, I'm sorry. Now let's see what else we can do with the JSPs. Now we'll dig into more details of JSPs here. Okay, yes. So we can create a JSP file and let's do this. Say sample JSP. The extension should be .jsp always. Okay. Here I'm adding that JSP page in the web content folder. Click on finish. Once you have created the JSP, so you can open the JSP using JSP editor. Select the sample JSP page, right click on it, and you got open with JSP editor. Okay, yes. Next, now in JSP, you can write this HTML code. Along with that, in JSPs, what we can do is we can also embed Java code. You can also embed Java code. We can do this. So I can write this code. So this is sample page embedding Java code. Yes. You see that out.println statement. Here, it's Java code. And I'm able to embed that Java code into the JSP page. So this is very much possible. So let's deploy this application on the server and run this code. Okay. Now how do we execute a JSP? Can we directly call a JSP and execute it? Is it possible? Yes. Yeah, you see, if you want to call a JSP or execute a JSP directly, you can do that. Just type in the name of the JSP. Sorry. All you need to do is just type in the name of the JSP. That is what you need to do. Okay. Yes. So press enter. You see, you got the output here. So this way, it is possible to embed the Java code into the JSP page. Yeah. So not only that, what you can do is we can use JSTL expression language, which is on. You see, this page, once again, let's quickly review this. Do you see any Java code here in this page? Have you noticed it? Do you see any Java code in this page? No, right? There is no Java code. It's free of Java code, but still, even though, I'm sorry, there is no Java code here, but still, you see, you'll find that we're able to access that objects list. We're able to iterate through the elements of that list, and we're able to fetch that records. Not only that, we're able to display them, read the data, right? Yeah. So this was possible. Yes. Okay. Now you'll find that most of the times we try avoiding we'll try avoiding writing the Java code in the JSP. Okay. Yes. We'll try to avoid writing the Java code in the JSP. But why do we need to do that? You know, the main reason why we avoid writing the Java code is to make this JSP pages easier to work with. So generally, we use this JSP pages to construct the web page, right? What are we doing generally? We are trying to construct a web page. So when we talk about a web page, you see, you'll find that you'll find that uh, not only we Java developers will be working with the web page, but even non-Java developers will be working with the web page. Am I right? Yes. Even non-Java developers will be working with the web page. Yes. Yeah. Yes. So for non-Java developers, it will be little complicated to work with Java code, right? Yes, it will be little complicated to work with the Java code. Yes. So that's the reason why it is highly recommended that we avoid this. We are writing the Java code in the JSpace. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Fine. So now I have a task for you people. Can you people do one thing? All of you listen to me carefully and try to complete this task. The task is create a form, HTML form, using a JSP, and make sure that form, through the form, the form should take that product details. Okay. In that form, through the form, user should be able to supply the product details. Through the form, user should be able to supply the product details. Once user types in that form data, okay, and submits the form. Yes, I want you people to um, add, I want that form to be that form, whatever the data user has typed in that form. Once that form is submitted, so the application should read that form data and submit or send this or add this form data to the database server. Okay, the form data here should be added to the database server. After adding that form data to the database server, the application should again display the same form, and in that form down you should be able to see the product details which are added. You should be able to see the product details which are added. Yes. You got the point, all of you. So what are you supposed to do here? Make sure that you create a form. Through the form, users should be able to provide the product details. Once that form is submitted, once that form is submitted,
I want you people to, I want that application to add that product record to the database server, and then it should display that product details again in that same page where you have that form. The form should be again displayed, and in that form down you should see a table with that newly added record. So will you try that, all of you? So can I have yes or no? So you got this right, all of you? When the form is submitted, down you should see that form detail, that record, whatever the record you're trying to add through that form, you should be able to see that record. At the same time, the data should be also added to the database. So make sure that the data is also added to the database. That is what I want you people to do. Okay, yes, fine. So uh, we'll explore this chase space further over the weekdays. But as I told you people, there will be a special class today evening at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. Okay, so there is a special class for struts. All of you, please try to attend this class. Okay, yeah, starts to 6:30 p.m. Central Time. Okay, please make sure that you attend this class. You know what? Actually, I got a fever, cold. It's very high temperature, but still, for you people, I'll wake up in the morning. It will be 5 a.m. for me. So, but I want you people to please make sure that you attend this class. Okay, not only you, another batch is also there, so they will attend. You also please make sure that you attend the class, because live sessions are always good. Okay, yes, so please make sure that you attend this class as well. Yeah, so it will be 6:30 p.m. for me, sorry, for you people. Saturday 6:30 p.m. For me it is Sunday. Okay, sorry, Sunday morning 5 a.m. Indian time. And again we'll have a class on Sunday evening as well, a special class. So that will be around 6 p.m. Central Time. Okay, starts 2. Another class will be there, and it will be on Sunday at the rate. It is 4 a.m. Indian time for me. So please do attend these classes. Okay. Yes. Fine. Starts 2. Very good framework to learn. Yes, lot of things you will come to know about lot of things here. So we'll be doing web application development. Lot of new things you're going to learn here. Okay. Yeah. So that's all for today. Let's meet in the evening. Yes.